Welcome back. You are now watching Talking Points, and now let's take a look at a recap of today's Bulletin Ringkas.
ribu ahli Barisan Nasional dari seluruh negara dijangka hadir pada pengumuman Manifesto PNPRU 14 di Axiata Arena, Bukit Jalil 8 malam Sabtu ini. Setiausaha Kerja UMNO, Datuk Seri Abdul Rauf Yusof berkata, pengumuman manifesto itu yang akan dibuat Presiden UMNO, Datuk Seri Najib Razak, turut disiarkan secara langsung di televisyen. Beliau berkata, pihaknya amat berpuas hati kerana persiapan untuk majlis itu berjalan lancar dan kini mencapai 80%. Pengumuman kerajaan mewujudkan lapisan kenaikan pangkat grade DG 56 bagi skim pegawai perkhidmatan pendidikan adalah satu langkah yang akan memberi impak positif pada sektor pendidikan. Menteri Pendidikan Datuk Seri Mahzid Khalid berkata, tambahan lapisan grade itu akan memberi manfaat kepada pengetua sekolah, pegawai di Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah dan juga ketua sektor di Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri yang berada pada pangkat DG 54. Anak syarikat Lion Air Group, Wings Air akan memulakan operasi penerbangan setiap hari ke Medan dari lapangan antarabangsa Batu Berendam, Melaka bermula 20 April ini. Esko Pengangkutan Pemulihan Projek dan Perdagangan Antarabangsa Negeri, Datuk Lim Beng Hong berkata, ia adalah laluan ketiga syarikat penerbangan itu di negara ini selepas Kemiri dan Kuching, Sarawak. Katanya, penerbangan kendalian Wings Air akan menggunakan pesawat ATR 772 dengan 72 penumpang pada satu-satu masa. Presiden Donald Trump menajamkan lagi retorik anti-pendatang semalam, mengatakan mahu mengerah tentera Amerika Syarikat ke sepadan Mexico bagi menyekat pendatang haram sehingga tembok dijanjikan dibina dan kawalan keselamatan wajar diwujudkan. Ulasan beliau dibuat susulan ancaman menghentikan bantuan asing ke Honduras dan negara lain kecuali mereka menahan karavan Amerika Tengah menuju ke Amerika Syarikat, menimbulkan persoalan mengenai pengerahan tentera di negara sendiri. Trump menggelar penggunaan tentera di sempadan selatan itu satu langkah besar. Statistik menunjukkan polis London menyiasat lebih banyak kes pembunuhan berbanding rakan sejawatan di New York sejak 2 bulan lalu, ketika Datuk Bandar Ibu Kota Britain itu berikrar memerangi jenayah jalanan. Menurut Perkhidmatan Polis Metropolitan London dan Jabatan Polis New York, 15 pembunuhan dicatatkan sepanjang Februari berbanding 14 di New York, manakala 22 kejadian disiasat di London berbanding 21 di New York bulan lalu. Jurucakap Datuk Bandar Sadiq Han berkata, peningkatan kadar jenayah terbabit amat membimbangkan dan menganggap setiap kematian akibat jenayah ganas itu satu tragedi. Perancis masuk hari kedua huru-hara pengangkutan awam hari ini ketika pekerja kereta api meneruskan bantahan mencetuskan gangguan besar-besaran terhadap penumpang dalam cabaran terbesar ke atas pentadbiran Presiden Emmanuel Macron. Hanya satu daripada 7 kereta api berkelajuan tinggi TGV dan satu daripada 5 kereta api serantau dijangka beroperasi, kata pengendali kereta api negara SNCF memberi amaran selepas gangguan sama pada hari pertama digelar media Perancis Black Tuesday.
And now for our interview segment. Just when many are finally starting to understand the millennials, a new generation begins to emerge, the Generation Z, people who were born from the 1995 onwards. While we don't know much about Gen Z yet, we know for sure that the environment they are growing up in has changed by a lot. How does the highly diverse environment make schools of the next generation the most diverse ever? Will higher levels of technology make significant inroads in academics, and will it accelerate achievement opportunities? Gen Z kids will grow up with a highly sophisticated media and computer environment and will be more internet savvy and expert than their Gen Y forerunners. So to further understand the mindset of the generation, we have here with me Dr. Zyro Wong, the founder of ZAG International, to share with us more. Hello, Zyro. How are you doing today?
Yes, hi. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for
Yes, I'm
joining
good
me
as
on
well.
Talking Points.
Yep. Thanks for having me as well.
All right. First and foremost, it seems like we are a generation at the end of the alphabet.
Yep.
So what comes after Generation Z?
If you ask me about the generations that come after Z, I would say it's a social media world, whereby it's all about technology that inspired the younger generation now. So especially those that born, like what you mentioned just now, the gen after Z.
Yeah.
So they are more influenced with all the technologies, and that is what I'm thinking. Maybe SM, social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows? But you're the youngest and the only Chinese on the advisory board for the SME Business Entrepreneurship Award.
Oh, yep.
So what was your journey like getting to where you are today?
You mean getting on board?
To get to where you are today?
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Well, I started off as a MC and an event planner back then. So I hold the tuition center as well. So I've been doing education business back then. It's not an easy journey, especially Gen Y and Z in the between, because I was born in the 90s.
Okay.
So it's a bit tough to get the acknowledgement from the society, especially when we are young. So people tend to doubt your abilities and stuff. But passion and the perseverance get me where am I today. I will always believe that, and I know what I want, the objective that you want to. That is one of the vehicle that get you there. So I always believe that if you are passionate in doing things that you love, so definitely it's a matter of time that you'll achieve something that you want. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the Generation Z facing pressure from the demands of the world today, seeing that Generation Z are supposed to be more creative and more tech savvy?
Yes, I do think that there are more pressure right now, because I do run a hostel business where we have all the millennial babies, all our students there. So eventually I believe that they need to upgrade themselves every now and then, and they have to equip themselves with the latest technologies and stuff. By doing so, I mean, maybe I'm not a tech person, so for me to get involved with all these apps, all the lifestyle thing is a bit tedious to me, especially when we want to tend to learn things, and especially every now and then, every minute you have new invention and new technology coming up. So I think it's pretty hard on the demand, because they need to get things work online and get things faster. So I think the pressure will be there. Yeah.
Right, so the millennials and the Generation Z are quite similar, because we're not, the age gap is pretty close. So what is actually the difference between us?
I will always say that because the millennials is the babies that get 100% technology era, whereby the generation that were born is not 100% tech savvy. So we are about 70%, and somehow the problem that they are facing right now, especially the millennial babies, their lack of communication skills. I always believe that they wouldn't able to read others people's mind, how do we think, what am I doing right now and stuff like that. So the generations that we have been involved is we are still in our childhood mesmerizing our events that we have going through. Like for example, we have times that we go barefoot out in the field. Then play during the rain time and stuff. So I believe that the millennial babies are lack of all these memories installed in them. So majority of them are playing, technology stuff, iPads and stuff. So communications will be one of the things that it will be the major issue right now. I will always believe that. Yeah.
I see. All right, so you are a lot of things. The things you're doing, it's a long list to go on. And you're even involved in being the judge for beauty pageants in Malaysia.
Oh, yeah.
So what is your secret?
Secrets of being a beauty pageant judge?
To being a lot of things.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm always on the run, always on the go. And I would like to do something more creative. If you ask me to stay stagnant in one place without doing, only focusing on doing one thing, I think it's a bit tough. So I would like to involve, and all the business, thank God that all the business that I'm involved in is something that I like to do, like education business, entertainment business. Beauty pageant is part of the education entertainment business, whereby I like to dress up nicely, more glamorous in the events and stuff. So I think the secret, like I said, always the key secret, the element that I have is always the objective that you want to focus, what is your dream, and your perseverance in doing things that you like to. Yeah.
Amazing. amazing. So how did you get yourself into becoming a judge of a beauty pageant?
Because I trained them on communication area and branding area. So from then, that is how I developed the interest, and that is how the market acknowledged my presence as well. So I really thank God that this can happen. It's like a dream come true. Yeah.
Is it tough being a judge?
Well, of course, in certain way it is, because we have to gauge everyone's expectation, and the choice of word is very important as well. Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
what are the differences of today's pageants if we were to compare to the generations before us?
Oh my God, you asked me that. That is a bit sensitive. I will always believe. If you ask me about this, I would say the pageant back then, they have more. They are more sophisticated back then, and as compared to the trend and the generation involvement right now, I always believe that the current trend will be much better. That you can imbue with a lot of unique design. Then you have a lot of characters. You have different backgrounds coming from different backgrounds. Because back then, getting media exposure is not as easy as it's not as reachable as what we have right now. So back then, media exposure is not that strong as compared now. In fact, we are doing live show here. You see, you can even within a click, you can watch all this live show everywhere.
Yeah.
But back then it's a bit different. The media exposure is a bit different, and that is why it makes the beauty pageant industry in Malaysia is getting tougher as compared to last time. So last time maybe once a year we have one competition, but right now maybe once a month you have a competition. Yeah.
All right. So, how long have you been doing this for?
Pageant, I think about 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about 5 years. Yeah,
All right,
down
so,
the road.
What is your background actually?
My background, okay. Like I said, I own the degree in mass comm. Yeah, mass comm doing major in broadcasting. Then I did my PhD last year in learning and development. Yeah.
Can you tell us about your new company, Zyke International?
Oh, that Zyke International is only formed this year. So we are new generations that will be focusing on network marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, so the major of doing that is because I always believe that sitting on board as an advisory role and as well as a business consultant, I always came across with a lot of young generation, people like us around our age. They always ask, advice. They always ask, do you have any platform that, I can build myself and stuff. So being in the business industry, a traditional business industry, then I think it's time that I can create a platform for younger generation to build their image, to build their trust in the community. So that is why Zyke is formed. So Zyke is actually a very high growing and highly driven company that with a group of young people, young entrepreneurs to make it happen. So yeah, maybe I can review that more when it's ready. So because we are planning our launching in this coming August. Yeah.
So it is focused on network marketing.
Yes,
you said?
focus on network marketing.
Can
yes.
you explain more on that?
Yeah, sure. Because the reason why I'm doing that is because we need more involvement, and I'm not sure whether you agree with me or not. A lot of young people nowadays, they are very capable in doing things. It's just that they are lack of exposure, they are lack of chance to get on the limelight. So that is how we form Zyke International, so everyone can get involved, and then they can, get their empire, and then they can fill up their dream to make it come true. So the Zyke International platform focusing on the network marketing, and we will be the products that we are thinking is actually the beauty products. Yeah, that we have on board now. Yep.
So is the beauty products your own?
Yes, it's our
produced?
own brand, but the formulation is from France.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's talk about the name Zyke. How did you get that name from?
Oh, because I like the alphabet of Z, Zyke, because it represents who we are today, the Z generation.
Yeah.
So I like that, and I like something nice name. So that's why it come out. Yeah, that is like a name that I preferred. So that's why I put Zyke.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how do you provide people the experience of being responsible, of running a business? Is there a model that you use?
Yes, we do, because we, if you talk about business, we will always see what is the the outcome, and also we need to understand and do some research about the background on what industry we're involved in. Every industry we have different model, like you need more in terms of branding, or you need more PR exposure or stuff. So we always need to see what is the guidelines that we have before we can propose any model. But of course there is a frequent one. So my major in doing all this branding and stuff will be in FMCG product and beauty product. Yeah, that is my major.
All right, so for entrepreneurs of Generation Z, is there a lack in positive values upheld by them, do you think?
Yes, I always believe that, like I just mentioned, communication skill is one thing that they need to, seriously, they need to learn about it. They need to learn how to, communicate in an effective way, especially in the corporate world, so that people will acknowledge you. Yeah, that is one. And then second, they need to understand more about the body language. That relates back, the childhood. Our childhood is a bit different. We tend to run around, roam around and stuff. But nowadays, kids is different. They always on the tablet or always on the phone. So yeah, that can be a major issue. I mean, if you don't do something about it. Like for example, I have a bunch of friends of mine, where they gather, in the table of 10, for example. Even a simple message, can you pass me the chopstick? They can use WhatsApp to do it. And can you imagine if you're using emoji, like you're talking some aberrations of internet slang, LOL, but your face is not laughing, you're not laughing there, but you just LOL, lol, but your face is like sad face. How can you tell from that? That is the body language that I'm talking about. That is the communication skills that I'm talking about. The soft skill is not there if you're using too much on technology. But of course, there is always the good and the bad side of it. There is always the pro and cons. It depends on how well you can converse yourself in that. Yep.
So do you provide this kind of polishing skills?
Yes,
for
we
them?
do. We do soft skill training. We do communication training. We do branding training as well. Yes, we do that. Yep.
Right. So now, do you face any challenges while trying to build up ZAG International?
Yeah, of course. ZAG International is very new in the market, and it has not been launched yet. But back with the other companies that are built, of course, the trust issue is always the major issue because of my age. But right now I'm getting old, so I think that still okay. But back then it's a bit tough because when I started up my very first company, I was 19 back then. It was like 9 years ago.
Wow.
So 9 years ago, if I want to build a company, I still remember my very first client that I serve is Pokka International, which is an international brand. So it's not easy because it's not easy to get their expectation, and then one thing, it's not easy also to get their trust. You need to prove it to them, stuff like that. So yeah, the journey is up and down. Yeah, I would say that.
So how do you deal with that?
Of course,
issues and stuff like
I said, the perseverance, and then maybe I'm the type of person that if I want to do something, I'll make sure it will go on the right path. So prove it to them and make sure that it really works. And one client that I did with before, we have a barter trade thingy. Like for example, maybe in terms of payment wise, I don't really matter. It don't really matter me. That means I can do something for you for free. It doesn't matter. But as long as you're satisfied, the next project would be mine. Yeah, something like that. I did something like that before as a barter trade, and it really works. And that is how it proved our capability. How is our market positioning? And back then, because of that, it bring me to today as well. Because the younger generation, especially the Gen Z, is a bit tough because they always position themselves too high. I always think that they will expect a lot from his employer, or maybe he will expect a lot that he can make more money, easy money and stuff like that. So I think it's time for them to have a wake-up call for them as well, so that they can, not to say I underestimate them, it's just that they have to know more values before they demand the values that they have. Yeah.
In terms of working environment, working skills, is the millennials better or the Generation Z better? Or what are the pros and cons?
Well, it depends on who you deal with, I would say. I cannot represent the entire millennials, maybe, or Gen Z to talk about this. I think it's a bit unfair to them because we have our own perception and stuff. So, wow, it's a very tough question for me to comment on this. But overall, I will always believe if you're talking about creativity, if you're talking about creativity and get things in a more tech-savvy, of course, the millennial babies will be much better. But if you're talking about the perseverance, the things that they're up to and stuff, maybe the Gen Y is a bit better because they really know what they want. Yeah, I know.
So
I cannot represent that, not just to make another point. I cannot represent the entire thing to talk about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So to be fair, we both have the pros.
Yeah,
and cons.
of course. Everyone have their pros and cons. Yeah.
All right. So now, last but not least, before we end our interview, do you have any advice for the generation, both young and old, out there?
Young and old. Wow. Young and old. Well, to the old one. Not to say old, I mean to the senior one in the
seniors,
community, because old is a bit sensitive. To the seniors one in the society, I think that it's time that you give more opportunity to the younger generation. Let them, raise up. I mean, raise them up in the community. Give them more opportunity instead of doubting whether they have this ability or not. It's like the parental issue. It's like some parents, they will educate the children in encouragement form of teaching. Like, I encourage you even though you are not doing good, but you did well, stuff like that. But some parents' education system is a bit different. They are more harsh on it. Wow, you are so stupid even though you are number 2, or you are getting 90, why don't you get 100? It depends on which area you are looking at. I always believe I think encouragement is always the best, so that people excel and then they feel comfort. Everyone like compliments, right? So the choice of word. So the older generation or the seniors, I think that it's best that if you give more opportunity, create more platform for the younger generation, because the younger generation is our Malaysia future leaders. If you don't give, who's the one who is going to lead our Malaysia future economy and future present. I always believe that. And for the young ones, seize the opportunity and always don't take things for granted. And if the opportunity is given, take it with with heart, not with your hand. I mean, you do things with your heart. That is what I would say, the advice.
All right, well said, very well said, Saro. Thank you so much for joining me on Talking Points. Good luck with your launch.
Thank you so much, Shasha. I'm going to invite you as well.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, so now we are taking a short commercial break and we'll be right back after this.
What started as an alternative financial system is today a viable subsector within the global banking industry. The Islamic banking and finance industry has grown at a cumulative average growth rate of 18% over the past 5 years. Catch Islamic Finance to understand the latest issues, trends, and innovations in the world of Islamic finance. Tune in to Islamic Finance, challenging the status quo.
Music is a higher revelation of mankind. Maknanya satu tahap manusia yang amat tinggi kalau kita ada pengetahuan muzik. Nama saya Anwar bin Haji Abdul Razak. Umur saya 61 tahun. Saya telah berkecimpung dalam bidang muzik ini selama 45 tahun. Di kumpulan Revolvers yang ambil saya bersama mereka dalam tahun 1976. Dalam banyak-banyak lagu iklan ciptaan saya, seperti lagu Adabi, lagu Exion, bukan saya pun buat lagu saja, saya pun berlakon sekali lah tu, lagu Obat Batuk, Cap Ibu dan Anak, dan juga lagu-lagu patriotik. Tu kira saya rasa macam sekarang lah orang ingat. Dengan muzik, kita boleh menyerapkan unsur-unsur positif dari segi lirik dan unsur-unsur spiritual, semangat, motivational dengan melodi-melodi yang baik dan music arrangement yang baik. Melody is somewhere up there. It's the right time, the right place, and the right mood. Dia datang dengan cara tersendiri. Saya tahu kekuatan muzik hanyalah bukan untuk satu bahasa saja. Sebuah lagu itu atau produk itu untuk diserapkan kepada semua rakyat Malaysia. Muzik boleh mengubati isu-isu seperti keamanan, perjuangan, pembangunan, kecintaan kita kepada negara dan keharmonian di alam sejagat ini. Jadi, dengan muzik, kita dapat menyatu padukan dan melahirkan rasa cinta kita kepada negara kita, negaraku.
Ianya adalah untuk menggambarkan persepsi.
Kita tentulah cari orang yang kita kenal dulu.
Berapa maksimum yang mungkin kita tunaikan dulu.
Less than 3.5% kadar pengangguran di Malaysia.
Timbulnya pelbagai persepsi yang mengatakan kita tak cukup, itu tak cukup.
Peranan media sosial.
Beribu bintang G.
Aku main D ke kau sebut G?
Dah. Dah masuk.
Woi, korang makan dah siap dah. Makan woi.
Brin dah masuk ah? Ya ke? Alhamdulillah. Boleh beli sport rim.
Kau perasan tak? Duit Brim kita sebelum ni habis macam gitu je. Habuk pun tak ada. Apa kata Brim kali ni kita tong-tong. Seorang 400 setengah. Kita dah ada 1,350. Dengan 1,350 tu, kita boleh buat modal untuk meniaga. Macam?
Great idea. Bagus idea ni. Tapi nak berniaga apa kan?
Aku rasa apa kata kalau kita berniaga burger? Sebab modal tak banyak.
Aku setuju.
Macam parlimen tu. Setuju.
So dah boleh makan tak ni?
Boleh lah. Mari kita makan.
Malam ni berniaga burger kita.
Kita berniaga.
Kita buat.
Faris bin Muhammad Syaran, sekolah daripada MISN Taiping. Bagi saya program yang buat ni memang banyak membantu lah, especially membantu rakyat-rakyat Bumiputera macam kita.
Saya Muhammad Ibrahim bin Nur Syam. Saya di SMK Datuk Kailan. Program ini sangat bagus. Terima kasih Perdana Menteri. Saya sudah anda bila lagi.
Are also animal lover. We try to share kindness and compassion towards the voiceless. Hi, I'm Winnie Lau, founder of Cherish Life Home. We have 250 over dogs and about 21 cats. They live to their last day. That's why we are a no-kill shelter. There's a lot of strays which is man-made. To give them a second chance, please adopt, don't shop. When they recover, you can see them happy running about and they look into your eyes. That's what gets me going. Never thought of myself being a hero. Just want to be remembered like normal person trying to fight for animal rights. And I hope more people will come forward to do the same. I feel blessed that I'm born, bred, raised in Malaysia. I love Malaysia.
Welcome back, and now we have an update on our news highlights. So let's take a look at today's Bulletin Ringkas. Pengasas syarikat Habib Jewels, Datuk Habib Muhammad, 92, meninggal dunia selepas 2 minggu koma akibat terjatuh di bilik air rumahnya 4.26 pagi tadi di Hospital Gleneagles. Habib meninggalkan 5 anak iaitu Siraj, Zabaria, Siti Jawahari, Mir Sadiq dan Siti Sharifah, 9 cucu dan 1 cicit, manakala isterinya Ummu Latifah sudah meninggal dunia pada 2007 akibat sakit tua. Jenazah disembahyangkan di Masjid Kapitan Keling selepas waktu Zuhur sebelum dikebumikan di tanah